Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. So today we're doing something a little different. We're not going to look at the national economy as some dry, static spreadsheet of numbers. No way. We're going to look at it for what it really is, a massive, highly sensitive engine. And the government budget, well, that's literally its master control panel. Let's fire it up. Now, you might be wondering, how do you actually drive something as incredibly massive as an entire economy? Well, our source material explains that the economy is essentially fueled by a circular flow of income. Think of it like fuel, just continuously pumping through a complex system. And the government, sitting right there at the budget control panel, can actually manage the throttle and the brakes of this giant engine. And they do this using three main simulator settings. Let's check them out. All right, setting 1, the surplus brake. So this setting is absolutely crucial when the economic engine is running just a little too hot, and it's suffering from inflation caused by excess demand. To fix this, the government runs what's called a surplus budget. Basically, they deliberately pull more money out of the engine than they put back in. This means the leakages from the circular flow are greater than the injections. They're purposefully draining that excess fuel right out of the system. And this kicks off a really interesting mechanical domino effect, because that surplus budget creates more leakages than injections. Overall aggregate demand actually falls. I mean, people and businesses simply have less money to spend, right? And as a result of that, economic activity naturally contracts. The final intended result here? Inflation cools down. It's really the perfect braking mechanism to bring an overheating economy back under control. Moving right along to setting 2, the deficit fuel. But what happens if the engine is stalling out? What if it's facing a full-on recession because of deficient demand? Well, unlike the surplus brake where leakages went out, a deficit budget means injections outweigh leakages. The government is essentially stomping on the gas pedal here. They're making absolutely sure that new money being pumped into the circular flow heavily outnumbers any money that's leaking out. And here's how the chain reaction for that deficit fuel plays out. As injections into the circular flow rise, it immediately triggers an increase in aggregate demand. Suddenly, bam, there's more money out there hunting for goods and services. That revs the whole engine up, leading to a huge expansion in overall economic activity and, of course, a much-needed boost to employment. It's honestly the ultimate policy tool when you need to tackle deficient demand. And finally, we have setting 3, the neutral balance. So is there a cruising speed? Yes, there actually is. A balanced budget means the government's receipts perfectly match its expenditures, just right down the middle. Now, on its own, it's totally neutral, neither expanding nor contracting the economy. But there's a fascinating hidden feature here. If you scale the size of the entire balanced budget up or down, meaning you increase or decrease both those equal receipts and expenditures simultaneously, it triggers a corresponding change in national income that is exactly equal to that budget shift. Mind-blowing, right? The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that exact 1-to-1 ratio. Because the shift in national income perfectly mirrors the change in the size of the budget, economists call this phenomenon the balanced budget multiplier, or sometimes just the unit multiplier. Basically, you scale the engine's capacity up or down by a factor of exactly 1, without throwing off the balance of the whole shebang. So that brings us to a final question for you to think about. Take a look at the real-world economy around you right now. Based on the mechanics we've just decoded, is your economic engine currently overheating with excess demand, or is it stalling out into a recession? Because once you see the government budget not just as a boring list of numbers, but as this dynamic control panel of surpluses, deficits, and multipliers, you'll know exactly which setting we need to get things back on track. Thank you so much for exploring this simulator with me today.